Welcome back to the show. Now we're joined by Charles Tarbey with the latest property numbers from all around the country. Charles, good to see you as always.
Thank you very much, Chris.
What's happening?
All steady, same as usual. 65.4% was the average clearance rate across the country. This time last year was 66, but Sydney hit 70.1, Melbourne 69.1, but Adelaide still performing at 59.7. So Adelaide's probably been the most consistent capital city of all, probably for the last 3 or 4 months.
Tom and I have been whinging about the cold, and the rest of it is, as soon as we start coming into winter, colder months, does that stop people putting them on the market?
It used to, and it probably has a little bit now because we're down 2 weeks in a row, negative 1.79 this week, and we're also negative last week, and also the New Zealand market slightly negative as well.
This is for the amount of homes advertised?
Yeah, the amount of property coming on. So it does slow it down, so the number of properties coming on the market has slowed down, but I don't think it'll be massive this time around.
Yeah, because Tom was talking about now's potentially the opportunity for people to go out and do that because there's not all this
Yeah, I got
hype.
asked the question today, give buyers tips for spring. I said, well, start looking now. Don't wait, because it's really now that you can get the best opportunity.
And that's the thing, it's be contrarian, isn't it? Do the opposite to everyone else.
Yes, seems to be. Yeah.
Exactly. And what's happening on the rental side of things?
They're still steady. It's been flatlined for a really, really long time. And Sydney's sitting on 11.26% increase since I started the charts a year and a half ago. It really hasn't changed much. Victoria's 7.33 and in Perth it's 18.59. So it's an average of 12.39 increase over those 3 capital cities for a year and a half, but mostly sitting in the 11s and 12s for, 6 or 7 months now. So not a lot of joy for landlords, good for tenants.
Yeah, and look, mortgage rates are still low, so a lot of people are still cashed very well. Yeah. And what about the vacancy rate?
Well, they're really interesting because they've been steady for a while. In Sydney it's 2.31%, in Melbourne 3.14%, but in Perth it's broken 5 again, so 5.01 for Perth. So giving an average of 3.49% in clearance, in vacancy rates. I always mix those two up for some reason. But it is really interesting to watch it sitting in that same position. The whole market seems to be sitting in that same position week in, week out. So I don't see much change, and I really don't think that anybody should expect anything great. They're talking about a bubble again in the Australian market. So I don't think people need to be concerned about that at all.
Again, I was down in Melbourne and I was trying to ask them last night is what do they think of the market. It's obviously mixed opinions and mixed things in the papers. What's your advice to people that, because the average person sits on the fence, they don't make a decision, when should they jump off that fence, do you think? Well,
they should have already, and again, if they don't now, I don't think they're going to need to rush out and buy, but I think they need to get out and start making offers on property and start negotiating, because there is a strong interest in Australian real estate and it'll continue to be strong. So they need to get moving because it's not going to change, rates are not going to drop, prices are not going to come back down to the extent that people are thinking. They just need to get started.
Because John Edwards pulled up some graphs last week and from the 1900s, and it's literally the last 30 or 40 years, the growth has still been over 2 or 3%. So even though it's not massive growth, it's still getting more expensive every day.
We always say it, the best business you can be in is real estate. You get an average home, sell it for an average price to an average couple for an average period of time, and they make money on it. I think that's wonderful.
Great to see you as always. Charles Tarbey from Century 21, Alicia Inglis from Inglis and Rock. Thanks for joining us at home as well. Until next week, I'm Chris Gray. Good night.
The information featured in this program is general in nature and therefore should not be relied upon. Guests appearing on the program may have commercial arrangements with some of the companies mentioned. Before making any investment, insurance or financial planning decisions, you should consult a licensed professional who can advise whether your decision is appropriate for you.